Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, today's topic is coping with difficult people. Coping with difficult people. Okay, before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers. Welcome all of the new subscribers. And welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you so very much. Now, before we jump into this topic, now for those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of this video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions, and I will either answer your question through the email or I will answer it on the air. Okay? And those of you who are interested in these caps, they are now available in my online store. So just go to the description, go to the bottom, and you see a link that says online store. Just click on that link and there you are. Okay? Let's jump into this message today. All right. We received some letters about coping with sons. Okay? Angry sons. And I pulled a video for us to watch about single mothers raising sons. And then we're going to talk about it. Okay? Let's look at this video. We're going to read some letters and we're going to talk about the subject, okay? Coping with difficult people. All right, here we go.
Hey, so this is a message for all the single mamas out there, especially the ones raising boys, that I saw this message here from It's Howie and was really touched and encouraged by it. But I wanted to offer some encouragement back to you guys that there's nobody stronger in this world than a single parent, especially a single mama. I'm a big advocate of dads being involved in healthy ways in their kids' lives where possible. But it's not the only way to be healthy. My own father is an amazing person in many respects and overcame quite a lot to try to give me a better life, and I'm immensely grateful for his influence. He taught me a lot of things I still cherish and carry to this day. But there was also some toxicity in our household in terms of how we viewed and treated women that I think was just the air we were all breathing. So I learned those things too. All those single mamas out there, you guys are holding it down, holding it together. Take courage in knowing that your kids are watching your example and they're seeing you build egalitarian households, places where equity and partnership are alive and well. And your kids, your boys, will be able to show up in relationships better than I did, being able to anticipate their partner's needs and be able to show up giving full support, because that's what they're learning to do with you right now. So I know it's not ideal. I know it's not the way you planned it. I know it's not even remotely easy. Like, what you're doing is immensely difficult, maybe the hardest thing there is to do in the world. And then it's up to all of us in the community to gather around you and support you in any way you need to be supported, because it's in everybody's interest that we raise healthy, smart, well-adjusted kiddos, and that is a community job. So sorry for all the ways in which we missed you. We have to do a better job. I see you, I honor the work you're doing, and just want to say thank you.
Okay. Now you see what the young man talked about. He talked about single mothers raising sons. Now I want to say something about this, because I often hear men saying that women cannot raise a son. I guess raising a son to be a man. I don't know why men are saying this when women have been raising sons to be men for a long time, is the point. Okay? Now, I did see somewhere where a man was saying that women should seek out these positive role models for their sons when they are raising their sons on their own. You know, that's a tricky situation, because, you know, I don't agree with you sending your son off with a man to influence your son, and you you don't know who this man is. You understand? He could have a lot of things going on that you don't know anything about. And just because you know of a man and he seems to be a wonderful person, you need to scope him out real good before you send your son over there for him to influence him. I don't totally agree with that scenario that only a man can raise a son to be a man. Because if you look around today, with these men, the way that they are, the way that they treat women, and many of them are, having sex with each other and all kind of crazy things. I'm not gonna send my boy off to be to be mentored by any of these men. That's why I say it's a tricky situation. You understand? You got to know a man real good before you want to send your son off to him. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I raised 3 boys on my own. On my own. And they're not feminine. You, you understand? They are responsible people. And they are valuable people in society. They are adding to society, not taking away. You understand? So, I'm not talking against men raising boys to be men. If they are good, positive, strong role model men. Understand? But just because, he's a man doesn't mean that he is going to be a perfect role model for your son. This is the point I'm making. Ladies, check these men out. I know when I was raising my sons, there was such a thing as, it probably still is, big brothers or whatever. And one time I did think about that, sending my sons off to get a big brother. But then, watching what was really going on in the world, I said, no, maybe that's not that's not what I want to do. Because I don't know who the big brother is. I don't know how these men are screened. And I don't know what another man would be teaching my son. He may be teaching him something that goes against my values. What I want my son to learn. You understand? And what I want my son to be when he grows up to be a man. So this is what I want you single mothers to understand. Every man out here, just because he's a man, is not a good model for your son. Women, we do the best that we can. Don't allow men to tell you you can't raise your son, because you can. You can raise him. You understand? And I did see something where a young man said that men only learn from other men. Well, if the other man is a positive role model, yeah. But you don't want your son learning practices that are narcissistic. Okay? Okay. We got some letters today, and let's dive in and see what's going on here. All right, our first letter is entitled Restoring Relationship Between Son and Mother. Okay? I am 65 years old with a son 29 years and a daughter 37 years old. I've been married twice. Sadly, both husbands that were either narcissists or had narcissistic traits. Boy, I bet that was a doozy. I am a total empath. Yeah, because narcissists love the empath. They are drawn toward the empath because the empath is a natural giver, and the narcissist is a taker. You understand? So, yeah, that's what's going on here. I divorced the children's father. I'll call him Fred, my first husband, because of blatant infidelity. Before my son was born, Fred had another son with his mistress soon after my son was born. Fred has been an absentee father for most of my son's life and has favored his other son. My second husband, I'll call him Joe. He entered when my son was 7. He was worse than the first. He was supposedly religious with severe mental health issues that I and my family suffered through. And sadly, I tried to make work because of my religious beliefs. You know, it's a lot of folks in religion that are miserable in their marriages. But religion says you stay together because you married them. You understand? You don't need to live your life in misery. Period. No matter what. A lot of this religious dogma comes from man. It comes from man. They just make it up as they go. Okay, let's see what else you say here. He was a demon. I finally divorced him 9 years ago, but my son's relationship with me is very strained. He really doesn't want to be involved with me. I love both my kids very much, and I hold a lot of guilt that I wasn't able to give them a good father figure that they needed. You know, single mothers, it's a certain amount of guilt that comes along with it, that maybe you didn't make a good choice, but gee, you made the best choice you felt at the time. Okay? You know, I can speak to this because I'm in the same boat. You know, I was married twice. I had 3 boys. And yeah, you know, especially my oldest son, I think he was most affected by divorcing his father. So yeah, I can understand this. You know, some of the children, they don't take it well when parents break up, even if it was a bad marriage, even if it was a horrible marriage. Kids many times, you know, they don't understand and they get angry. Okay? I am very close with my daughter and was hoping that my son would be closer after so-called religious Joe was finally gone. I feel very sad that my relationship with my son isn't closer. It hurts me a lot. I can't go back in time. What can I do? I've talked to my son and apologized for not giving him the father he deserves. You know, it wasn't up to you to give him the father he deserves. He's got the father he's got. It is what it is. It's no blame on you. It's no blame on you. You understand? He is actually his father's seed. You understand? The seed comes from the father, not from the mother. So actually, his father is the one, not you. You bore him. You see? You bore the children that the father implanted in you. You bore the children. But the seed didn't come from you. The father's seed. Okay. He cares for me, but doesn't want much of a relationship with me. My kids are both intelligent and have done well in their professions. My son, I believe, also resents my daughter and the other son for other reasons. How do I resolve my guilt? And how can I get closer to my son? Okay, now, because I understand the situation with your son, the best thing you can do is just leave it alone. Okay? You've apologized to him. You've tried to explain to him the situation or whatever. Now, you've done all you can do. It's really up to him. I understand this because I have a son that's kind of in the same situation. I've apologized until I'm blue in the face about the way that things worked out. You understand? And my part in it. But that's it. That's it. I let it go. And you should too. You understand? Do not spend the rest of your life carrying and dragging this guilt around. No. You've already explained it to your son, the situation. Now it's up to him. You have apologized for any hurt or whatever that he went through. That's it. There's nothing else that you can do. And there's nothing else you should do. Do not spend your life in misery because of the way that your son feels about this situation with his father. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because your life would be affected by this. And you shouldn't let it. You understand? For many years I carried around guilt, shame, blame. Because my kids grew up without their father. It wasn't my fault that he left. It wasn't my fault that he decided that he wanted somebody else. You understand? It wasn't my fault that he went and lived with another woman who had kids when he wasn't taking care of his own kids. That wasn't my fault. You understand? I did the best that I could do for what I was given. And you did too. You understand? You explain to your kids the best way possible. You understand? To help them to understand the situation so that you can get closer to your kids. You're not trying to, put blame. It was what it was, but you want to get closer to your kids. If they don't want to get closer to you, leave it alone. Back off. You understand? Maybe one day when they have their own kids, maybe they'll understand these things, and maybe they won't. But in the meantime, love yourself. That's what I did. I went into spirituality. I love myself. You understand? And I leave the door open. I have open arms for all of my children to come back. I will embrace them. I will take care of them, or whatever I can do, I'll do. But I'm not going to carry around that guilt anymore. That guilt and blame and shame, no. I let it go. And you should let it go. And focus on your own happiness. That's the way to deal with it. That's the only way to deal with it. You understand? You cannot change the mind of your son. If he's going to be angry, let him be. If he's going to be feeling some kind of way about you and his dad, it is what it is. You understand? But you have done the best that you can do. And my advice to you is to focus on your own happiness and to leave this alone. Okay? All right. Now let's look at another letter, because I think this other letter has something to do with another son. Okay? Let's see here. All right. I have a son that is 24 years old. Okay, today is about sons. Coping with difficult people. And he has a lot of anger and resentment toward me because I have decided to no longer have any kind of a relationship with his father because he has a drug problem. Okay? The father refuses to have anything to do with the son for the last 15 years. Okay? He only wants to have a relationship with him if it came with benefits me. Okay. So now let me understand this. The father who has a drug problem will only be in the son's life if he gets you too. Okay, if you come as a benefit, then he will be in the life of his own son. Okay, I just want to understand it. I refuse to allow him to continue to use me to be in his life. What advice do you have for my angry and disrespectful son toward me? The same advice I gave the other lady. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. You understand? I don't know if your son is still at home with you or if he has his own place or whatever, but that's not your fault. It's not your fault, and it's not your blame that his father, I don't know if you were married or not, but that his father had a drug problem and you couldn't stay with him. That's not your fault. And I'm sure that you've done your best with your son and you love your son. But your son is angry for some reason. He's angry. Maybe because you're not catering to his dad, or he's just angry because his dad is not around. But that's not on you. Kids tend to be angry with the parent who's there. You understand? And most times it's the mother that's left when the man takes off. So the kids, they direct that anger to the mother, the one that's there taking care of them, feeding them, clothing them. They can't blame him because they don't even know where he is. So they blame the mother, the one that's right there in their face. It happens. It happens. But mothers, focus on your own happiness. Don't allow your children to make your life miserable. You know, it's a funny thing. We want to have these children. You know, understand? I know I did. We want to have these children. And when they're small, you know, we love them and we take care of them and they're so precious and everything. And then when they grow up to be around the teenage stage, it's when you see them start to change. And, you know, from teenager to in their 20s or whatever, now all of a sudden they hate you. They hate you. And you figure out why. Why? After I have taken care of you, you know, and met all of your needs all of these years. And now, why do you hate me? People, I don't have the answer for that. I wish I did, but I don't really have the answer for that. But it happens. And what I'm going to tell you, ladies, is to focus on your own self-love. Okay? You have to let these teenagers or young adults take care of their own issues. Don't allow them to come around and disrespect you. But let them take care of their own issues. Just try to, you know, avoid conflicts with your sons or your children or whoever. Try to avoid as much conflict as you can. Try to avoid it. But your sons, yeah, they can resent their mothers for a number of reasons. But I believe that all that anger and resentment is because of their situation And maybe they're just angry because, maybe their friends, you know, had the mother and the father there, and they had, it seemed very pleasant and all. And then they come home and there you are. There's no man there, and maybe they're just angry because of that. I don't know. But whatever the situation is, ladies, what I'm telling you is to take care of yourself. Just take your focus off of them and put it back on you. And enjoy your life. Let them work out their own problems. If they're going to be angry, let them be angry. We come to them and we try to appease them and explain things to them and try to work it out with them. But if they want to be like that, there's nothing that we can do. You cannot change people. People will have to decide that they want to change. They want to change. They don't want to be angry anymore and be resentful anymore. And that they really love their mothers. But they have to come to that realization. And with you loving yourself and giving them that space and time, you see, you can heal and give them a chance to realize what's going on and to heal from it. Okay? And that takes time and space. So that's my advice to you, the same as the other lady. Let it go and focus on your own happiness, which is very important. Okay? All right. Now, this is a letter. It's a little off topic, but it's about my husband's behavior. I have been married for 27 years and have been fine until 4 years ago. After we decided to start going to our country in Africa, and my husband started meeting with ex-girlfriends and younger girls who wants money. Okay, so wait a minute. You've been married for 27 years and everything seemed to be fine until 4 years ago when you start going to your country, Africa, to visit, I guess. And then he started reconnecting with ex-girlfriends and other women. Okay. My husband started sending money and talking to them when I am not home. I found a receipt of him sending money to them, and they send him nude pictures. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. You've been married to this man 27 years, and you didn't know he had a fetish? This sounds like a fetish of some kind. He likes nude pictures. Okay, let's see here. When I confronted him about it, he will stop talking to me for days. Okay, I guess that's how he handles it. That means if he stops talking, that means to me that he's not trying to stop. He's just not going to talk to you. He feels like you can't do anything about it. So that's why he just cuts you off. He says that I don't play with him much for him to sustain an erection. That's ridiculous. Don't go for that, ladies. He's just making up something now. You understand? He is just trying to make up an excuse for his actions. I explained to him that his inability to sustain an erection is because of his age, medical diagnosis, and daily medications. He was stopped from his job that he has been for 26 years because of storing nude pictures of these girls on his job computer. So he was fired for storing nude pictures on the job computer. Okay. He talked to these girls when I am not home, and he texts them every day on his phone. We live with our daughter and my sick mother, and I don't want to leave because I don't know how to start over, as we have accumulated so much stuff from all these 26 years that we have been together. Okay, it sounds like you're stuck right there. You've already said that you don't want to leave. That's the only solution, is to leave. You cannot change him. You understand? You cannot change your husband. He's already lost his job with these nude pictures. He's got some kind of fetish about nude pictures. You understand? And I bet you anything that he's probably masturbating with these nude pictures when he tells you, that nonsense about you don't play with him enough. That's nonsense. Don't believe it. He's just making an excuse for his deception. You understand? And I doubt it. In the 27 years that you were married, that he was faithful then. It probably just didn't come to a head until you saw it in your face 4 years ago. You understand? 4 years ago was when it was in your face and you could see what was going on. But it doesn't sound like this was new. This man has probably been cheating the whole time you've been together with him. Okay? And, my advice would be to leave him. But since you say you don't want to leave because of, what you have accumulated, your life with him and everything, the only other alternative for you is to start your spiritual growth. That'll be your only refuge, is to start healing yourself. Change your focus off of him to yourself. I'll put in the description again how to start your spiritual awakening. And this will make you stronger and feel better about yourself while you're going through this shameful experience with your husband. This is shameful and hurtful. You understand? As long as you're there, you need to be focusing on your own self-love. Okay? And this is how you're going to cope with a difficult situation. You're going to concentrate on you. Start your spiritual healing. Start your affirmations every day. Start your meditations every day. And go out into nature. You understand? It grounds you. And this way you can release any kind of negative energies that you are harboring or feeling or any of that. When you go out into nature, it's very important for your growth and for your well-being. And this is my advice to you, to start your spiritual healing. Okay? Now, I know that will help you. I know that will make you feel better. But since you feel like you need to stay in this toxicity, then start focusing on yourself. Okay? Love yourself first. And that will make you feel a whole lot better being in this situation. Okay? I think we got time for another letter. So, let's see what we have here. Okay. This one, an unreliable friend. An unreliable friend. My issue is this. I have a dear friend and I love her as a sister. However, she is sometimes very, very forgetful and can sometimes back out of commitments at the last minute. I would hate that. I would hate that because I'm the type of person, I like to plan ahead. I don't like any last minute kind of things. So, yeah, that can be tricky. I have gotten really annoyed with her behavior and haven't spoken to her in a few weeks because of her behavior. And I think she knows that I am turned off. It sometimes gives me anxiety when I plan things with her because I always am on the edge whether or not she's going to show up. And I am sick and tired of reminding her. She called me one morning at 5:30 a.m. to cancel a very important meeting with me and clients. And I was very, very upset with her. And she startled me while I was trying to sleep, and it ruined my morning. I thought it was very unprofessional of her to do this, and I simply just texted her back and told her that I couldn't work with her on a professional level anymore, and that we should just be friends and not do any business because it never works out. Well, that's a good thing that maybe you two shouldn't do business together if you want to keep the friendship. Okay, so I thought that was a good idea. I feel like her behavior stunts my growth. She has referred awful people to me, and every single person she has ever referred to me turns out to be unprofessional or some sort of hindrance. She even referred 3 senior clients to me that I later learned had dementia. And I didn't know this up front, and it took almost 9 months to discover it. That's pretty funny. I hope and pray that my friend isn't referring terrible people to me intentionally. And I asked her to not send me clients, and I'm not sure why she is sending me clients because I never asked her to do so. Okay, well, I guess she just, some people, they just feel like they want to help. You're their friend, but they are not good in business. So they don't know how to help. They just sending people your way. I'm sure she's not intentionally trying to hurt you, but this is just, she's just doing what she knows. That's it. So, I think you did right just to tell her, that you didn't need her help that way, that you would just be friends. Okay. Not one single person that she has referred since 2014 has worked out. My friend often gives me unsolicited advice and always telling me what to do, even though I don't ask her of her opinion. She sounds like she means well, but it always turns out to be a huge distraction and a mess. And now with her behavior of not being reliable, I am concerned about all of this. I have reciprocated by referring clients to my friend, and it always works out for her. And I have gotten her a lot of legitimate business. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Now, I'm sure your friend means well. You understand? She means well. And I don't know if you two are in the same type of business or not, but the clients that she has referred to you have not worked out. But you say that you have sent her clients that have helped her well. Okay, so that's good. That's good. All right. So you've been helping your friend with the business. But don't feel bad because she has not sent you clients that worked out. Okay? Now, because you want to keep the friendship and you don't want to offend your friend, I guess you've already told her don't send you any more clients. So hopefully, she didn't get offended by that and all is good. But if you enjoy her like a friend, just be friends and don't talk business with her at all. Take the business out of your relationship with her and just be friends. I think that'll solve that problem. If you don't talk about business, then there's no reason for you to send clients her way or for her to send clients your way. Just be friends. Just enjoy each other as friends. Okay, you've already made it plain to her not to send you any more clients. But I don't see a reason why it should be a deal breaker between you and your friend. Okay, if she's not reliable in the business sense, or because you're saying that she'll call off a meeting right at the bewitching hour. Don't do business with her. Don't talk business with her. Let it go. And just be friends if you enjoy her friendship. That's my advice. Okay? Just separate it. Sometimes friends are not good with business, with your business. You understand? Many times it's better to keep your business separate from your friendship. Okay? It's the same thing if you were dating a man. You don't want your man involved in your business. It's not a good situation. So, I don't know if you met your friend while you were in the business, if you're both in the same type of business or what. Okay? If you don't have to mix your business with your friend, then that's what you should do. Don't mix it. Separate it. Just be friends and don't do the business. And I think you'll be fine. Okay? Today's topic was coping with difficult people. And many times, we've tried to resolve a difficult situation with another person, but it just seems not to work out well. My advice is to focus on yourself. If you've done everything you can to rectify a situation and nothing helps, let it go. Let it go. Don't drag that guilt with you and that blame. Don't carry that. Let it go. Focus on yourself. Love yourself. Go within yourself. That's where the love is. You understand? And when you truly love yourself, let other people be who they're going to be. Just let them be. You can't change people. They have to change if they want to change. And once we get that through our heads, then we won't let it affect our lives. You understand? You be happy. You get what you need out of life to be successful in your own right. Don't let it depend on what somebody else is doing to you or around you. You take control of your own reality. That's why you need to love yourself first, so that your reality will be bright and pleasant. Okay? And you don't allow difficult people to bring you misery. You focus on happiness and positivity always. So people, I hope that this message can help someone today. Now, for those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. And keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask me the question. And if you prefer me to answer through the email, just put it at the top of your letter. You understand? So it's not overlooked. And I will comply to that. Okay? I hope that this message today can help someone. And I appreciate you supporting this channel and watching this video. I thank you for your comments. And I thank you for your letters. And a special thanks to those of you who send a donation. I really appreciate all of you. So I wish you well. I wish you happiness. And I hope to see you next time.